everyone. It's Laura Milligan, and it is a beautiful, sunshiny Monday afternoon. I have some kind of different projects to share with you today. Not my normal style, but I'm excited about them. So I'm just going to check, make sure I'm in the right place. Give me just a minute here. If you've signed on, leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. It's always fun to see where you're all watching from. So I'm just going to wait 1 minute. Please be patient with me. The sun is shining today. I think it's supposed to be 50 or 60 degrees today, which is really nice. And then, of course, I think by the end of the week, they're forecasting snow. Okay, hold on here. So if you're there, just say hello. It's about 1:02, and I had so much fun last week sharing the projects from the new Butterfly Brilliance suite that were bundle that were released early. And there's Colleen. Happy Monday. Hi, Candy. Hi, Laura. Hi, Candy. How are ya? Okay, so people are hopping on. There's Jacqueline. There's Myra. Okay, great. Now I know everyone's here. I've set this up right. So I am going to go ahead and get started. And first thing that I'm going to do is give away a couple of the cards that I made last week. So let me switch down and bring those in here. And you know that if you're watching on replay, leave a comment. Hi, Helen, how are you? If you're watching on replay, just leave a comment replay so that I know. Any comment that you leave will get your name in the drawing to win cards. And these are the ones that I made some of the ones that I made last week. They're not all here. But I've gone ahead and pulled names of people that have commented or shared this Facebook Live. I love when you share it because then more people will find out about these, and I think they're kind of fun. So this first card is that slit card, and this one I did with the big monarch butterfly. I love this. I love this idea. I think it's really fun. And this one is going to Terry Bate. This next butterfly one, this was just a way to use up some of the strips of the designer series paper. This is going to Dawn Hutchins. Dawn, I am not sure that I have your mailing address, so you'll have to get in touch with me. You can send me a message so that I know where to send that to. And then this last one used the extra little bits and pieces of rubber from the big Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, and that one is going to Jean Herrick. So ladies, I will get those in the mail to you, if not today, then first thing tomorrow morning. Hi, Mary. Hi, Debbie. Oh, you're on vacation this week. That's awesome. Yeah, usually Debbie watches from her mail truck. Okay. So what I'm going to show you today, a couple different things. This is not my normal kind of card. They're kind of fancy, and they have like fancy stuff on them, but I'm kind of excited about them. So let me bring in my supplies. I'm going to start with, I'm using the Butterfly Brilliance. I'm actually not using the stamp set, but I am using the dies. And so I'm going to set the stamp set aside. And I am using the Gilded leafing. This is in our January to June mini catalog. And when I first saw this, I thought, there's no way I'm going to touch this. It looks like a big mess. It looks like gold would get all over everywhere. And it is a little bit messy, but I will tell you, I saw some demonstrations with it and I got hooked, and I thought it's worth the mess. And I guess I just look sparkly after I use this, and that there's, a little bit of sparkle never hurt anybody. So see, there you go. There's a piece of it right there. So I'm going to show you how I made a card, and I have another card too that I'm not actually going to make. I'll talk to you about a little bit, but I have one card here, and I'm just starting out with a thick piece of Whisper White, 4 1/4 by 11. I've scored it at 5 1/2, a basic white. I will probably never get used to calling it basic white because for the past 20 years it's been Whisper White to me, but it is basic white, and truly I like it very much. I really don't see a difference between it and our Whisper White. It's a brighter white, which is really good. All right. Also, I should tell you, my daughter Sarah is visiting, and she brought Benny, and Benny is a barker, and between Benny and Charlie, they kind of egg each other on, so I'm hoping that there's not a lot of barking today. And Renee is here working all day in preparation for my retreat, which is this weekend. So we'll see what happens. All right, so I have taken a panel of 4 by 5 1/4 crumb cake cardstock, and I've embossed it with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, otherwise known as the paper towel folder, and it does look like that. Let me hold this up. See the texture there? Hi Debbie. Hi Lucy. Hi Cindy. It is sunny. The sun sure makes everything great, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to bring in a big sheet of grid paper and create this glittery, kind of cool card. There's a couple ways that you can attach the gilded leafing, and I'm going to show you 2 of those ways now. So first is with our tear and tape, and I'm just going to take some of it and lay it down on the front of my card and snip this. And it's crooked, but you know what? It doesn't even matter. I'm going to make them all crooked. This down here. Okay. So I just put that down. It's not really, it's just a random. I just randomly placed it on there. And then what I'm going to do is pull this off so that this is going to be sticky. This is basically like a strip of tape. I'm going to burnish it and pull the top off. Debbie says bling bling bling. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do then is, so this is the gold leafing, and what I ended up doing was putting it in this Tupperware container, and the reason I chose this size is because I wanted to make sure that I could flip this over, and that this is like a card front size. I wanted to be able to flip this over and push it right down into the gold leafing. So I chose kind of a big Tupperware, but look how much is in there. Isn't that pretty? Look how it sparkles, especially in the sunshine. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to take this piece with the sticky side down and press that into there and tap it off, and let's see what we got. And look at that. Is that cool? So cool. It's fun. Okay, then what I'm going to do now, I could take a brush and brush this off. I could take a clean sponge if I had it, but what I did, either one of those would work. One of our blending brushes would work. What I did was just took a sponge dauber. I had a clean one, and I'm just going to rub this on here and push off the excess back into this tub. I think this is the kind of thing that will last a long time. Kind of like embossing powder, a little bit, you know, you just use a little bit each time you're embossing. I'm just going to tap off the excess and just continue brushing it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now while I have this out, I'm going to bring in this butterfly, and she was cut from the die, the big die, the one that I call the star of the show. Let's see, she was from right there. She's like the largest butterfly that looks like the monarch butterfly. So I want to add some gold leafing to her as well. So to do that, I took my Tombow liquid glue, and I think this is the first time I've ever used this wider tip. And I'm just going to hold this in my hands and just, let me make sure I get this flowing here. Hold on one second. Okay, so I just squeezed a little, and I'm just randomly placing this here and there. I don't want to cover the whole thing. I want it to be a little bit uneven, so I'm just putting a little bit of it on there. And I think, you know what, I might go ahead and add a little bit of glue down here as well on that tip. All right, let me set that down a minute. I'm going to put this cap on. And for this, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take this and flip it down into this tub and pick up the gold leafing. Look how cool. So fun. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my sponge dauber again. And I think what I will do is get like one of our clear envelopes and store this with my gold leafing in a clear envelope. So now I'm just going to brush this off like that. Get all the excess off. Have you all tried this gold leafing before? Gilded leafing, I'm sorry. Gilded leafing. Have any of you tried it before? It's fun. Like I said, I didn't think I would like it because it's super, I thought it would be super messy. But really, if you do it in a container like this, the mess is for the most part contained. You may end up with a little bit extra on your work surface, but then you just kind of scoop it up and put it back in the container. All right, so I'm going to get all that excess off. I'm just rubbing it. Just take a minute to do that. All right. Okay, so there's that butterfly. Let me find the lid. You don't want to leave this sitting without the lid on. If you sneeze or something, then you're gonna get gold leafing everywhere. All right, so there is that part. And then what I'm gonna do is use this die. Let me bring this in here. This is one of the detailed dies. And this one coordinates with this bigger shape. And what I did was I cut this out with vellum. But what I did and what I found worked best was when I put this through my die cutting machine, normally I would run it through like this. But for this, what I found with the vellum, and because this is so detailed, I actually put the cutting side up, then I put my vellum and sandwiched that between my cutting plates and ran it through. And I did go back and forth 3 times. And the butterfly really just popped right out. And here it is. Look how beautiful. Isn't she pretty? And I'm just going to position her right over this gold leafing. And so I'm going to do that with glue dots. Let me grab my glue dots. Here they are. And I'm just going to put I think I'm just going to do one right there on her body. Like I said before, when you use vellum, you don't really need to use a lot of adhesive. Usually one glue dot will be enough to hold it in place. So let me just hold this up. Look how pretty, isn't that pretty? So you can see through the vellum and see those little bits of the gold. I keep calling it gold leafing. It's gilded leafing, but it is gold. So you can see that. Isn't that pretty? All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set these aside a minute because I have something else to show you. And that is, whoops. This is the Many Messages stamp set. And it is one big stamp set. It cuts out all these different words, or it stamps all these different words at once. And then there is a coordinating die that cuts all of these out. So let me just show you that really quickly. I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. The die is called Messages. And it goes with the Many Messages stamp set. So I am going to take... that was my scrap piece. I'm going to take a piece of the basic white cardstock and ink it up. Let me find my black with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And just a little tip, when you're using the Stamparatus, let me pull this over here so you can see. I like to take my stamp case and put it underneath here. It just makes it easier to ink up. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a real good coverage. There's a lot to stamp on here. I don't even know how many words there are, but there are a lot, and they're all different shapes and sizes and different fonts, which is really good. Okay, this looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this and give it a good press. I'm going to give it a really good press because there's so much detail on this, all these different little words. Let's see, and that actually looks pretty good. I see, I'm just going to ink up. I see couple little spots here. Just going to ink up a little bit more. And of course, the beauty of the Stamparatus is that you can do that. And there, that looks really good. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to put this scrap paper back in here. Set that aside. And then I'm going to trim this a little bit. Let's see. You know what? I'll just... I thought I had my paper trimmer here, but I don't. So you know what? I'm just going to trim this a little bit so that I can run it through my die cutting machine. Okay. Okay. So what you want to do with this is you're going to position this, and there's a couple little guides for you, and it's the hearts and the stars. There's 3 stars and 1 heart. So if you line those up, let me grab my machine. I'm not sure how much of this you'll be able to see, but I wanted to do this to show you. So with a die like this, I'm going to use my basic plate, and let me try to turn this way. Oh yeah, and you know what? I'm going to have, well yeah, okay, I'll see what I can do. I was going to say the crank is over here, so I think that'll be okay, the handle. So if you see, you notice that our plates are numbered. So this one is number 1, and if you look on this for die cutting, you need a number 1, a number 2, and 2 of the number 3 plates. And I love that about this new machine. So here is my number 2, and then I'll put my first cutting plate down, and that's a number 3, and then I'll do my die. And so I'm going to just line this up with those stars and the heart and see how I do with that. That looks pretty good there, like that. I'm kind of at a weird angle. Hopefully this will turn out okay. And then I'm just gonna put my cutting plate in there. I'm gonna turn this way and just crank it through. Now, because this is such a detailed die with so many things it's cutting, it's gonna make some creaks and cracks like that, but that just means it's working. Whew. Normally this thing just goes right through like zippity zip, but because there's so much that it's cutting with this, it sounds and looks really hard, but okay, so let's see how this did. I'm gonna set that aside, and let's see how this did. And here you go. Look how easily it made all those creaks and cracks, but look, every single shape just popped right out. And so what I do is, like, I've done this a couple times, and I keep these in a little bag, and anytime I need a word, I can just go to that bag and pull out something that I want. So I wanted to show you that because I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's called Many Messages Stamp Set and Messages, Coordinating Messages Die, and that is a bundle in our catalog. In the, I think it's in the annual catalog. Okay, yeah, so Colleen, that is the best way to use it. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to find, I just need a little word for this. But look at all these different shapes. Some of them even have stitching on them. Super, super cute. All right, so I'm going to set these aside, but I will just put them in a little bag so that then I have them when I need them. And here's even the little heart. You could also do this on, if you want to use like black cardstock or colored cardstock and Versamark ink and then emboss it. You know, emboss it with like white embossing powder, and then you would have the black with the white, which would be good on a lot of projects as well. Cindy, I agree that I actually thought about doing that pearlescent paper over the butterfly. That would be beautiful as well. All right, so now I'm going to put my card together, and I just have my thick white card base. I'm going to take my bone folder and give it a good score, and now we're going to put it together. So this is going to go on here. So I'm just going to add this with my stamp and seal. I cannot believe that that Charlie and Benny are not barking today. Charlie's laying on the floor here snoring. And I think Sarah's kept Benny away. All right, so I'm going to attach the butterfly, and again, I'll probably, well, you know what, I'm going to pop it up with a couple mini dimensionals, and I'm just going to put them on her body because I want her wings to not be attached. And I like to fold them a little bit, as you know. So I'm going to put her, I think about right there. Need to move her over a little bit so she doesn't hang off the edge. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I'll add my little greeting. Put that there. Sending happy thoughts. And then I'm going to fancy this up a little bit. So I am using, this is the gold cord. This is in our annual catalog as well. It's the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. And in that you get this really pretty vanilla, it looks like it has a really cool weave to it, and then this gold cord. And so I'm going to use the gold cord. And then I'm also using some of this white twa ribbon, which everybody really likes. So I'm just going to take a piece of this. It's really soft and easy to use, tie bows with, etc. So I'm cutting this in half. I wanted it to be a little bit narrower than the width of the ribbon. So just cut that in half. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this in half. And I think I'll angle the ends a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to attach this to my butterfly. Okay, so we'll put that there. It's just soft and fluffy and pretty. And then I'm going to take this gold cord and just tie a bow. So it looks like several of you have purchased the Messages Die and stamp set, and now you know how to use it. I think the trick is lining up, like I said, the stars and the heart. Okay, and I want this to be kind of long, it's just a soft, pretty card. And now I'm gonna just take a glue dot and attach that right there, right over that white ribbon. And then to finish, I'm almost done. Isn't that pretty? And then to finish it, I have my Gilded Gems. I have a sheet of Gilded Gems, and I'm gonna use my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just gonna scatter these around. These come in 2 different sizes, so I'm gonna start with the small, I think I'll just put it right down there. And then I'll put it, I think I'll put another small one there, and maybe a bigger one. No, I think I'm gonna put it right there actually. Okay, all right. So there is my card. So what do you think? Are you guys ready to try the gilded leafing? Do you like it? Isn't it pretty? No, Cindy, the dotted ribbon does not fray at all. You can see I'm even like twisting it and turning it in my hand. No. And it's so nice for tying bows, and it's soft. So if you would make a bow, even with the full width of it, and tie it in a bow and put it on your card front, it's easy to mail. Yeah, so there is that card, which, like I said, I normally don't make like glitzy cards like this, but I think it's really, really pretty. You know what? I'm going to pick up one more little gem. I'm going to just stick it kind of right there like that. I felt like it needed just one more. Okay, so there's that card. And then I have one other one. This one will be on my blog today. It's not there yet, but I will be doing a tutorial for this. This is another one. I did something similar. I actually used the detailed die cuts and cut them out in white. And then I cut out 2 of the die cuts in crumb cake, and then 2 small die cuts in vellum. And I added my gold leafing to the crumb cake butterflies, just like I did on this one. On the white butterfly on this, I just used my Tombow liquid glue, and I think that one is really pretty as well. So that one is going to be going on my blog today. This is another one of the words from the messages, many messages stamp set and die. I like that some of them are just really little, and you can just tuck them in certain places where you need a word. All right, and then just really quickly, I wanted to mention one more time, I am offering my Butterfly Brilliance class. It has been the most well-received class I have ever offered, and thank you for all of those. To those of you that have already signed up, but registration for this ends this Friday, and if you have questions about it, you can refer to my blog, or please email me at laura@lauramilligan.com, and I can send you the registration information. But don't miss out. It is a wonderful, wonderful class. So let me switch back up here, and thank you all for joining me today. I am not going to be coming back on Thursday because that's the day before my overnight retreat, and we will be in full retreat preparation mode. I feel like we already are right now. If you could see my studio is on the other side of where I am right now. I have a big studio, and I feel like every inch of my table space is packed with things for the retreat, and I have 4 tables. I can seat 16 people comfortably at my table. So that gives you an idea of how much stuff we're preparing for this retreat. So I will not be here Thursday. I do plan on coming back next Monday, a week from today. However, I got called for jury duty. So if for some reason, I'm hoping I don't have to serve. I don't think that I will. I mean, I have no idea, but I have a sort of high number. But I will let you know Monday morning. If I'm not going to be live, I may do it on Tuesday or a different day, but I hope to see you next Monday. And so thank you all for joining in today. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you're watching on a replay, leave your name and just tell me you watched it on replay. I love to know who's watching, and if you share this as well, I really appreciate that. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.